Hello everyone, this is Someone Talks About Something. I'm someone, you're someone, we're all someone. And today, the something we're going to be talking about is FNAF, and more specifically, the FNAF timeline. Now, first off, this video is not the timeline itself. That's going to be not next week, but the week after. This video is going to be me asking for any of your opinions on FNAF and ideas all of you have on the FNAF timeline. Now, I'm currently in the process of creating my own FNAF timeline, and I realize there's parts where I feel very, very confident in, but then there's parts where I'm not sure at all. And that's what this video is for. I'm asking for all of your help on different parts of the timeline. Now, this timeline I'm making is only going to be from the very start to the end of FNAF Help Wanted 1, the first one, not the second one. So that's the time frame we're going to be working with. But before we get in, there is going to be three specific rules for if you're giving a theory on a part of the timeline. Rule number one is be respectful. This is most important. It's very nice to be very respectful when pitching a theory. Rule number two is be specific as possible. What I mean is please don't give like a 10-year range, but a more specific 2 to 3 year range. Rule number three is provide evidence. When making theories, evidence is so important. For anyone wondering about this timeline, I'll be using information from my other FNAF videos I've done, so I'd recommend checking out those videos because all of those videos are going to be affecting how this timeline shapes out. So if you have advice about those, then please give it and please check out those videos because it's going to be very important to check out those in helping making this timeline. Now, what part specifically am I not sure about? Well, there are three things I'm not sure about. First, when did William Afton start after? Second, cis location. This one does kind of go with the last one about Afton Robotics, but with this one, I want to focus more on the game of cis location and when does cis location in the game take place. So far, I believe it takes place in the late 1980s and early 1990s, but I've seen evidence for it taking place even sooner in the timeline as early as 1983, but I'm not sure if that's correct. So again, if you have any evidence or theories that you have that can support or debunk some of this, please let me know. Third, Elizabeth Afton's death. Yes, another one doing this location. Now, we know that Elizabeth's death is the thing that gets Circus Baby's entertainment and rental closed down under the fake reason of a gas leak, but we don't know exactly what this is. I know that some people say it's before the crying child's death because the line, the crying child is told, "Remember what you saw," alluding to his sister being scooped. However, this really doesn't work because of this line in cis location.
Due to the massive success, and even more so the unfortunate closing of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, it was clear that the stage was set, no pun intended, for another contender in children's entertainment.
Which means that Circus Baby's entertainment closes sometime after 1985 because Freddy Fazbear's Pizza doesn't close until the missing children's incident, which happens in 1985. So that means it can't happen before the crying child's death in 1983. So it leaves us with this unsure spot of where it ends up in the timeline. But again, if you have any theories, please let me know because I'm really trying to figure this out. Fourth, when is William Afton's death? And by this is what I mean when he gets spring locked because he always comes back and put behind a wall. Now, I've heard people say this happens in 1983, but I haven't heard any evidence to support this. But what I do know is that it has to happen sometime after 1987 because of the phone guy voice line.
Someone used one of the suits. We had a spare in the back, a yellow one. Someone used it. Now none of them are acting right.
So if you have any evidence for it being 1983 or a different year, please let me know because I'd really appreciate it. Fifth and final one, when does Michael start his redemption story? And what I mean by this is when does Michael go down to cis location, get scooped, and then go back to the old pizzerias? Now I have a theory that his redemption story takes place over multiple years instead of one pizzeria after the other like I've seen some people suggest. What I think may happen is Michael goes down to Circus Babies, gets scooped, gets hired at the FNAF 2 location, then gets hired at the FNAF 1 location, and then years later, after thinking he's made up for what he did, he sees an ad for Fazbear Frights and gets a job there to put an end to it, but ends up meeting his father and then burns the place down. But since that doesn't work, Henry creates the FNAF 6 pizzeria, and then Michael becomes a franchisee, and then Henry sets the place on fire and Michael stays behind with it. But the problem with all of this is that besides FNAF 3, I don't have definitive dates for when Michael goes to these different locations. So once more, if you have any ideas, I would really appreciate if you could let me know. And there you have it. These are the 5 things I'm unsure about in making my FNAF timeline. But remember, this is someone talks about something. I'm someone, you're someone, we're all someone. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said earlier, if you have any theories about these different things I'm unsure about, I would really appreciate if you could help me out and let me know your thoughts on it. I hope you have an amazing day. If you enjoyed this video, please consider chomping down on that subscribe button and checking out the 2 videos I have on screen. Have a great day. Peace out.